Welcome to the Success Pick and Mix podcast with me, Nikki Raby. I began this podcast in 2018 and I've produced over 400 episodes with an emphasis on dreaming and doing. But I know there is so much more to building a business and life that you love. It's definitely a work in progress. For the last 25 years, I've built a portfolio career as an actor, personal branding coach, writer, speaker, and podcaster. I love my pick and mix and curating my personal brand. I want to support you to create success on your terms. I've helped over 1,000 people to build a personal brand, and yes, I will be sharing with you business strategies around planning, packaging, presenting, and propelling your personal brand. But there is so much more to my work than that. I'm not interested in formulas, templates, or sleazy pants sales techniques. You know the ones. Instead, how would it feel to do things your way that align with your personality, circumstances, and goals? I'm going to be sharing conversations with some of my favorite people who are creating success on their terms to provide inspiration and encouragement. Also, there will be mini episodes where I take you behind the scenes, sharing how-tos, my coaching toolkit, chats about mindset, money, building momentum, and all through storytelling. After all, my clients have been known to call me the Queen of Analogies. So, thank you in advance for spending some time with me. Feel free to subscribe to be notified of the next episodes and follow across social media at Nikki Raby. You can catch up on previous episodes via my website, nikkiRaby.com, and also pick and mix, if you like, from my freebie shop. Right, let's crack on and start today's episode. Hello, it's Nikki. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. So yesterday was my son's 6th birthday, and I'm not going to talk too much about motherhood, but his birthday is always, it's always a joyous occasion. And this year particularly, he was reading his cards, he was so into it, and it was really lovely. It's just lovely. There are times where obviously exhaustion or everybody's having a bad day or all of the things with real life, but there were just some real pockets of joy, and I'm smiling as I say it. So yeah, it was just such a lovely day. But when I fast forward back 6 years ago, it always gives me food for thought. On one hand, if I'm being really kind to myself and really pat myself on the back and say, bloody hell, Nikki, well done, you're doing it. And gosh, it's not been easy, that is for sure. But also it makes me think about what it truly means to work on your terms and to action the flippant comments of the internet. So I want to start here. And this is, again, what I'm saying is not about motherhood, but it's about meeting where you are. And so often, and I would say daily, at least, I receive a DM or a message on Instagram or on LinkedIn rather, saying, I've got an opportunity for you. This opportunity will work brilliantly around your family. And for a long time, that message was delivered by 21-year-old bros who wanted to make it on the internet. Now, all credit to them. If they've got that tenacity and authenticity and integrity at 21 and they can genuinely build a brand that is fantastic, all power to them. But what I'm saying is, or I guess what I'm calling out, are people who just say the generic stuff. And I'm always such a skeptic about opportunities because for me, I really like transparency. And I really dislike that marketing riddles layered in sales patterns that are often a rehearsed blanket formula. For me, I'm a bit more northern than that. I like to know what this is, what we're doing here. And for me, connection is always key. And actually listening to other people and what they're saying and what they're not. So when people would see, for example, my profile and that I do lots of different things, they might say, this will be perfect because it will work around your family. And yes, I understand what they're saying because they may look at my profile and go, she's got children. but they actually have no idea what family and what circumstances mean underneath, and what and this sounds kind of depressing, but like the daily challenges. And I'm very fortunate to have two healthy children, but life is not always straightforward. And there's certainly been times in my life where I thought, oh gosh, and it really, maybe it's the Scorpio in me. Those messages kind of sting me sometimes, where I go, and this, I'm not proud of this response, definitely, and I would word it in a way that was appropriate. But it really gets my spikes up sometimes of thinking, you know nothing about my life. Why are you assuming? Why are you being over familiar before you've asked questions? And so I guess when this was happening again and again, I've really understood the questions that I need to ask in order to progress if somebody wants to work with me. I'm not doing a blanket like, yeah, you do this, yeah, because you've got kids, yeah, or because you're looking after your parents, like this is what you need to do. This is going to be the model that works for you. No, this is always about working together and really going into the nuance of that, really working out what that looks like. And so when I go back 6 years ago, I maybe like 2 months before I got pregnant. So I left agenting 3 days a week in November 2014. And I didn't really have a plan, but I was in that moment of like, this is the next right decision. This is what I need to do. And I need to open up for whatever it was. And now looking back, I think, wow, that was quite risky, but I didn't see it as such at the time because I was so in touch with what I needed to do. And then December, I started to get a couple of gigs. So one with a university, some coaching clients came in. And then in January, I started to think, well, I'd really like to maybe think about having a baby this year because, I was 33. Was I 33? About to be 33. Yeah, I can't do the maths. Yes, 33. Goodness me, Nikki. Goodness me. So I was starting to think about that. And I was fortunate to get pregnant quite quickly. And before I knew it, February of 2015 was here, and I was having a baby in October. And I hadn't really made a concrete plan of what that was going to look like. And again, you might be thinking, you're a bloody idiot. What are you doing having a baby when you're not really sure what you're doing? But, it all works itself out. And there were some really tough moments, like the first few months. My goodness, I'm saying first few months. I'm meaning 2 years, really, because sleep deprivation, it just completely floored me because my son didn't sleep until he was 3.5. So it was really long. It was really full on, and he was a big baby, a hungry baby. And yeah, I felt like I'd been knocked over by a bus, but let's just say. But it really made me, okay, let's get back to the point. Let's not go back to 2015. But it really made me think about the power of being a personal brand. And I'm talking about this in terms of your packaging and your pricing, because my packaging and pricing has had to change and could change as my life has changed. So over the next few days, I want to share a couple of pointers for you to work around, for you to play around with, to maybe journal or do a mind map or something like that. And the first one I want to talk about today is knowing my skills, knowing what I can offer, knowing how I can help people, understanding the transformation has meant that I can be flexible. So you may look at my website year on year and say, oh, it feels like your business is quite different at the moment, like you really seem to have gone online, or maybe you're doing more in-person stuff. For example, 2019, at the end of 2018, was really a big time for me for doing loads of speaking gigs. So probably like August 2018 to August, maybe not quite. Oh yeah, August actually, 2019, because I did one when my daughter was very tiny and was just like tucked in. Oh my goodness, those were the days. But that was a big year for me speaking, and it was a big chunk of my income. I spoke on some fantastic stages. I absolutely loved it. And I was getting requests left, right and centre. It was all coming to me very easily because I'd done that foundational work. But this is the first thing that I want to say in terms of your pricing and packaging before you get bogged down in the, Nikki, what do I charge? Is it an hour session? Is it this? What is it? This is about really thinking, what flexibility do you need from your business? What flexibility do you need from your business? Because it will be very different to the next person. You might be somebody who needs to do all of their in-person work on a Monday and Tuesday, and that's it. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you might not have childcare, or you might, as I say, you might need to take a parent to a hospital visit, or you might be at a food bank. Like, there are so many different variables. But when you're looking at your pricing and packaging, is it flexible? Does it work for you? And also, if you start there, does it work for you? It's going to be much easier to then be able to sell it. Okay, the second one I want to talk about, and this is going to be the last one for today. The others are going to be in the episodes coming up. The ability to be lively. So maybe this is the showbiz kid in me, but you know, the show must go on. And I do have that ability, rightly or wrongly. Like, if I need to do a show in the evening, I'm like, come on, pull out all the stops. I mean, I may fall asleep in the cab on the way home, but for the performance itself, I will rise to the challenge. And I always want to have this sense in my business, in my life, that I want to feel lively. I want to feel vibrant. I want to feel like I'm on it, you know, I'm present, I'm there, I'm energized. And when I was looking at, I guess, how I was at home or in the middle of the night with sleep deprivation, I really needed to pick the things that were going to ignite that energy. If I felt like I was really pushing something that was like, this is not working for me, why am I doing this thing? I had to keep going back to the drawing board. So I love curating my skills, my knowledge, expertise, background, personality. And if I can work in a way that I feel like I'm excelling, I don't struggle for work. If I'm really enthusiastic about what I'm sharing and what I'm delivering, people are really attracted to that. So what I've had to do is follow the path of least resistance. I've had to opt for more ease and flow, and side note, more patience. And the temptation also with this showbiz kid maybe that's in me is, if things aren't happening quick enough, I push. I go, right, come on, let's go, let's do this. Okay, I'll work more hours, I'll hustle. No. And actually, what I need to do in that moment is to tune in, or is to take a step back and go, hang about, what am I doing here? How do I actually want to deliver this? And so I get to a stage where I can then lead with enthusiasm, passion, creativity, and a zest, because that zest for your business is infectious, and others will be keen to join your disco. So when we're talking about your packaging and pricing here, let's talk about how you can do this so it makes you feel more lively. I mean, imagine that you could feel good whilst you were doing it. What an absolute treat. But that's about doing the work as well. That's about really tuning in and asking yourself, okay, what does this actually look like for me? What do I need to do? Where do I need to get quiet? Where do I need to get listening? It's almost if you were a plumber, like, where is the leak here? What's happening? Why is this not working in the way that I want it to? And sometimes doing that work and sitting in that discomfort, it's not nice. You're going to want to run away. You want to get a bit fidgety and not be in the process of doing it. So I would love you to go and visit my free video series, which is all about pricing and packaging, and let me know what you think. It's a free series, so you can just download it. You can watch all the videos if you want. You do get one every day, but they're all there. They're all under the same link, so you can enjoy that process very much. Also, if you're interested in my pricing and packaging course, do come on over. It will really help you to pull together your offerings so it feels really robust. It feels like it's delivering value, but also it pays you very well, but also works with your circumstances as well. So I hope you found today useful. How are you going to be more lively and more flexible within your services today? Thanks so much for listening. As always, big love to you. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share with a pal if you would like. And if you've got any questions around this, please always DM me or send me an email, hello@nikkiraby.com. I almost gave my phone number now. We're not quite there. Email is lovely. Thank you so much. All right, see you soon, and I'll see you tomorrow.